After coaching for 30 plus years, I've boiled it down to 3 mistakes that experienced or older golfers make with their driver. Number 1 is they set up like they're hitting an iron. Number 2 is their backswing is not going the right direction for a driver. And number 3 is they fall back when they swing the club. This is what I tell them to fix it, and it works every single time. So when you're set up with the driver, it is different than an iron, all right? And for some reason, a lot of golfers, they just feel like there's one setup for every club. But here's what's different. When we're hitting a driver, okay, like today I've got my MaxVert 2 driver. When you're hitting a driver, it's the only club where the ball is always on a tee. You hit an iron, the ball's on the ground. So the setup has got to be different, all right? So here's what you want to be looking at. When you hit an iron, you're kind of more on top of it. But with the driver, you want to be slightly tilted back and behind it. So here's what you're going to do. Go ahead and set your club behind it, all right? I've got my MaxVert 2 and I got that fairway finder on there so I can point it right down the center of the fairway. And here's what you're going to do. First thing is we're going to get the ball in the right spot. So you're going to take a mini step towards the target, and then you're going to take a big step away from the target, because I want that ball to be positioned more off the logo or the inside of your lead arm. The mistake that a lot of people make, this might be you, is they set up with the ball in the middle, kind of off the zipper right here, right? That's good for an iron, not good for a driver. So the first thing is let's get the ball in the right spot. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you've got a little bit of tilt. So you're going to take your lead hip and you're going to bump it over your lead foot, which is going to tilt your upper body back a little bit. Okay, this helps you set up back and behind and underneath the golf ball versus with an iron when we're set more on top of it. Now, the third thing that I tell students in this setup position that they make a mistake a lot is that they got the handle too low. When you set up with the driver, I want that handle to rise just a little bit, okay? And when it rises or raises, I don't know what the right word is. If you know the right word, if you were an English major, put it in the comments. Listen, I'm just a golf guy. I'm not an English major, all right? But let us know which word is correct there. Take the handle and just lift it up a little bit like this. So I've got the ball off the inside of my lead arm. I've got the handle up a little bit, and I've got the 60-40. So that's the biggest mistake that I see golfers make in the setup. But the other mistake I see in the backswing that a lot of golfers make is their swing is too low and around, right? Because the club is a little bit longer, okay, they tend to swing the club low and around, okay? As the clubs get longer, golfers typically want to go ahead and swing the club low and around. What I want you to do is feel like the club works more up and down. So you're going to take your lead arm and just go ahead and lift it a little bit like this. Everybody see that? This is a little drill you can do. Because when you swing this club, if we want to get a lot of distance, we've got to get those hands nice and high. I want the club up here. Nick, can you see the difference between this, which is good, and that, which is bad? Can you see it? Okay. Nick gave me a thumbs up. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and be sure to hit that subscribe button and let us know where you're from in the comments. We love hearing that. Just lift it a little bit, okay? So when you turn and make your backswing, make sure you feel like your hands are nice and high, because all things being equal, if the hands are high versus low, you're going to hit the golf ball a lot longer. Okay, so that's how we get set up, and that is the backswing feel. Now, on the finish, I also want what I call the high handle. A mistake a lot of golfers make is when they finish their swing, they finish low and around this way. Okay, when you finish your swing, make sure you finish where the handle is nice and high like this, okay? Because when the handle works up through the strike zone, it allows you to hit slightly up on the golf ball, which is going to maximize your distance if you slice it. Pay attention. Here's a little tip for you. And then we're going to talk about the one feel you can take to the golf course. If you slice it, make sure when the handle works up that the club face, my main man Nick is behind the camera, he'll get this for us. We'll make sure that face rotates over just a little bit. Everybody see that? So if you're slicing it, make sure the toe of the club, which is right here, rotates over a little bit, right? So we fixed that setup. We've got the nice high hands on the backswing. We've got the high handle finish, and if we're slicing, we're rotating it over. But what if you just want to go to the golf course and you want just one simple feel? One simple feel. Well, here's what it is. When you finish your golf swing, especially with your driver, make sure that when you finish your swing, your knees are touching. Because by far the most common mistake that golfers make with their driver is they stay back and they hang back on their back foot. Make sure that when you finish your swing, that your knees are touching. Because if your knees are touching, That's gonna help you get forward and get through the golf ball. Now that we fixed your driver, check out our next video to help you out with your golf game. And if you wanna personally work with us on your game, check out VLScoaching.com.